Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Quimbee Bar review course. I did this very same review a couple years ago, but since then, Quimbee has added some new features and changed things up a bit, so I thought it made sense to update my old review video. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you an overview of how the Quimbee course works, what you get, and of course, give you my thoughts on whether I think it's worth it. But since this is just a quicker, higher level rundown, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written review of Quimbee over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight Quimbee Review. It's a quick way to find it. Okay, so before we get right into the meat of this thing, let's get started by just quickly talking about costs, since that's an important factor in bar review and probably a big reason why you're even considering Quimbee. So, Quimbee has two different course options, a standard bar review course and a bar review plus course. The standard bar review course costs $1,000 and the bar review plus course costs $2,000. Pretty simple. And here's the big difference between the two. The standard course doesn't include the 1,400 or so official MBE questions licensed from the NCBE, the makers of the exam, while the plus course does. Now, there are a couple other features missing from the base package as well, like attorney essay grading, printed books, and a money-back guarantee, but the big thing is the official MBE prompts. So I can't really tell you which one to go with. This price difference and feature trade-off is kind of a close call. It's always good to get the official materials, and the essay grading can be helpful. Plus, I like the printed books, but $1,000 more for those features is a lot. Though what I will say here is that either way, Quimbee is a whole lot cheaper than the mega providers like Barbri, Themis, and Kaplan, and at these price points, it's a really strong value. Not to mention, even despite the low price point, Quimbee still frequently runs sales and special promos, and a lot of times you can find their course on sale, especially the plus option. So do make sure to look for coupon codes before buying. In fact, I'll do my best to keep the description down below the video screen updated with the most current discount codes that might be floating around out there, so you can maybe save yourself some money if you do decide to go with Quimbee. In my experience, you can usually save around 10% on their course. Alright, so next let's run down how this course works. So, from a high-level view, Quimbee is an online-only, self-driven course. There are no in-person classes, live online lectures, or scheduled workshops, or anything like that with Quimbee. Everything is on-demand and digital, except for the printed materials with the Plus course. That would be an exception here. But in any event, the course is built around 3 core elements: video lessons, reading assignments from your outlines and course books, and tons of practice problems. Every day when you log in, you have a personalized study calendar that tells you exactly what to study. Generally, this will be a mix of those 3 core components. You'll get 4 to 6 short video lessons, read a few dozen pages from your prep books and outlines, and hammer some practice problems. So let me talk about each of those 3 elements real quick. The video lessons take a totally different approach than most other bar companies' video lectures. Rather than a lecturer on screen standing behind a lectern talking at you, Quimbee uses these engaging cartoon-style skits to demonstrate the material being taught. Animated characters act out the case or legal principle being covered in a kind of funny and memorable way. The cartoon characters interact with one another and play out these funny little scenes. They're goofy, but I actually really like them, as I'll talk about them more here in a second. Then the next component is the written materials. This includes a course book, outlines for the MBE and MEE, and a workbook for the MPT. Again, the base package gives you these in digital format, but the plus version of the course gives you the materials in print, which is really nice. I'll talk about this more here in a second. Then lastly, there's the practice problems. And this is pretty simple. Quimbee has a Q bank and will assign you practice problem sets each day to work. Obviously, a big chunk of these are multiple choice MBE questions, but there's also a number of essay and performance tests mixed in as well. It's a pretty good blend. But by and large, that's it. You do occasionally send your essays off to be graded if you have that premium package, but otherwise it's just watching video lessons, working practice problems, and reading from your outlines. That's it. There's nothing too fancy or complicated about it. Just follow your study schedule. And by the way, I know that's a very high-level overview and a little oversimplified, so if you do want to see a more detailed breakdown of exactly how this course plays out, make sure to check out that full detailed written review that I mentioned earlier. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have more detail over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. Okay, so that's how the Quimbee course is set up and what it comes with. Now let's get into my thoughts, the pros and cons of this program. I'm going to give you a few things I really like about Quimbee and a couple things I also wasn't crazy about. So the first highlight, in my opinion, are the video lessons. I really like the off-the-wall approach that Quimbee has taken with these. To be honest, sometimes the standard lectures from the big 3 can be boring. These Quimbee videos are just radically different from everyone else's and they work. Honestly, it's kind of goofy watching these cartoon videos for a subject as serious as bar prep, but the material sticks. These videos are a really powerful means of improving material retention because when you come across the topic or rule being covered in the video down the road, your brain is drawn back to that specific funky little cartoon. So they're really good for improving recall. Then, my second noted pro here are the outlines. I've always been a huge fan of Quimbee's outlines and think they're more valuable than the video lessons. They're detailed, clear, and easily readable. Plus, they're just well organized and executed. Quimbee does a really good job of cutting out all the unnecessary fluff and filler material while still maintaining a nice balance of detail. Compared to a text from Barbri, I'll take these any day. They're just way more streamlined. Then, my third pro to highlight here is the course load. This course is the antithesis of Barbri. It's just two totally different ways of attacking bar prep. Barbri's philosophy is to load the work on and almost drown you with material, while Quimbee keeps things much leaner. There is some debate as to which is the better approach, but given how streamlined the UBE is today, I tend to lean towards Quimbee's approach. The workloads are just so much more manageable where you can complete all of your daily video lessons, readings, and practice problems in 5 or 6 hours, and then feel unpressured to circle back and do some extra work where you feel like you need it most. I just prefer that more manageable workload to Barbri's breakneck daily assignments. But anyway, that covers what I like. So now let's get to the things that I necessarily wasn't crazy about with Quimbee. But before I get to that, I do just want to mention that since you're studying for the bar exam, every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free review course to one lucky person. It's super easy to enter. Everyone out there is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description on how to get entered, but just know it takes like 10 seconds and hey, you never know. You could win a totally free bar review course from Quimbee. Alright, so to those negatives. And the first is that while I really like the video lessons, as I said, they're very catchy and serve as good memory aids, there's just not that many of them. Currently, there's only about 300 in the course, but when you're studying is spread out over 10 weeks, they go by super fast. You only get like 5 or 6 per day, and each one is only a few minutes long. They're the perfect intermission between readings, and I wish there were twice as many of them as there currently are. I'm sure Quimbee will continue to produce more and add them in, but for now, I just want more videos. Then, my second downside here is how the printed materials come shipped. This is probably a stupid con, but basically all of your outlines, including the attack outlines called quick lines, are all bound together, so it kind of fixes you to one spot for reviewing. Personally, when I'm reviewing outlines, I can't sit still. I like to pace around and move as I read, and I know I can't be alone in that. But because the outlines are all bound together, you have to carry around a 300-page book in your hands when really all I'm reviewing is a 15-page attack outline. So my ask would be for them to separately print and bind all of your outlines by subject. It's a small ask, I know, but it is pretty annoying. And lastly, very quick drawback. There are 4 diagnostic exams at spaced intervals during this program. While I think these are helpful, I wish there were a few more. These tests are great for gauging your progression, but I kind of wish they added a couple more. They take time, but I think they offer a very nice practice opportunity and provide good feedback on where you currently stand. But anyway, that about covers the detail in this review, so let's wrap this up. All in all, I think Quimbee is a great value for what you get. The video lessons are engaging and memorable, the practice work is high quality, and the outlines and text materials are really on point. I personally think those are the highlight of this course. Honestly, if you're in a UBE state and don't feel like you need the hand-holding and live classes and workshops that Barbri, Themis, and Kaplan give you, I think Quimbee is a solid alternative option. I feel really good about their course materials and have no hesitation recommending them. But anyway, that's all I've got for you. I hope this video has been helpful and you learned a little something about Quimbee. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping me a quick comment below. That would be really appreciated. And again, if you want to see that full detailed written review that I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great content out there. But as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.